Hello and welcome everyone. Let me and welcome to the most exciting event organized by Lepton Software. Let me reintroduce myself. I am Shripad Burgaonkar, head marketing from Lepton Software, and your host for today's event as well. Today in this webinar, we'll be talking on location intelligence and its importance to empower organization to build better products and businesses. Also, we will give you understanding about the LEAP program, a growth program that is fueled by location intelligence and analytics solution designed especially for startups who can avail $25,000 worth location intelligence get absolutely free. Wow, that sounds exciting, isn't it? So now I'm not going to take any more time and allow me to introduce you to our two eminent speakers who will be presenting this webinar. Please welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Ravi Bhaskaran, Business and Monetization Lead from Google Maps India. Hi, Ravi.
Hi, Shripad. Thanks so much.
And we have President Global Business Development and Strategy from Lepton Software. Hey, Ankush.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks, Sri.
So this webinar is going to be hosted into two parts. First part will be covered by Ravi, who will speak on why location intelligence matters for your business and how it can leverage to boost your ROI of your organization. And in the second part, that will be covered by Ankush, who will explain you on how startups can elevate with LEAP program and get more transparent and competitive insights. So let's start the webinar. And just one last thing, guys. If you have any questions during the webinar, I request everyone to please type your questions in Q&A section, and we will answer them at the end of our webinar. So Ravi, that's over to you. And I hope my screen is visible, guys. So Ravi, I'll change the slide from my end, right?
Yes, please, Shripad. You'll be my navigator today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we have already spoken about these two gentlemen, and Ravi, that's over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Shripad. Thanks for the introductions. So excited to be here today and speak with all of you. All of you know Google Maps. Maps has been around since 2005. To help people navigate and explore the world around you, right? But I'm not sure how many of you are aware of, the Google Maps platform, which has also been around for more than 15 years now, and has helped businesses scale. It's really a suite of 18 APIs, and today it powers over 5 million websites and apps. But before I get talking to a little bit more about the product, I wanted to tell you on why location data is important for the enterprises of today. Shripad, if you can go to the next slide. Today, 90% of the data in the world has a location component. This is from a Forbes study, and this component provides an important connection between how this data is linked into the real value that we can derive. The number of IoT or connected devices in the world is increasing day by day, and in a few years they'll outnumber us by 6 times. And all of these devices will provide even more location data, and will make location intelligence even more important as we go. If we go to the next slide, you'll see that location data. Shripad, if you can move to the next slide. The way. Shripad, can you move to the next slide, please?
I'll move to the next slide.
Okay, great. Maybe there's a delay at my end. One more slide. Yeah. Location data, I want to talk about how location data. The previous slide, Shripad, sorry. I think there's a little bit of lag there with us. Right. So, there are 3 ways, in which location data has created, value for enterprises or startups over the last many years, and we kind of bucket them into, 3 buckets, right? The first one is, help, enterprises and products build better experiences. Think of how Uber or Zomato or Dunzo has changed your experience in interacting with these products, and the crucial component that location plays. The next is optimizing your operations. Think of any logistics company trying to route their shipments, or an e-commerce company delivering shipments. Location has made it more intelligent. And finally, enabling strategic decisions, right? What are the insights and visualizations that we can make to deliver increased value to our business. So this hopefully gave you an overview of why location is important, but I'll quickly jump into why Google Maps, right? The next slide, please, Shripad. Obviously, Google Maps, our mission is to kind of assist people navigate the world and explore the world wherever they are. We've been growing our technology over the past many years, and we'll continue to invest in new ways to improve this interaction with the world around you. Next slide, please, Shripad. We've invested tens of billions of dollars in mapping the world around us already, and we'll continue to do so. Next slide, please, Shripad. We're also investing in other Google businesses such as Android Auto, Waymo, Waze, that provide a bunch of synergies for Google Maps and vice versa. Just think about the number of Android devices on Earth. Android devices, Waymo cars, Android Auto, all of these are continuously, helping us collect high-definition maps, real-time traffic signals, and road conditions, and this helps improve the accuracy of Google Maps every single day. Next slide, please. I don't have to tell you this, but Google Maps has over 1 billion daily active users around the globe. This number is fairly dated, and I'm rather sure that this is way over today. We have over 60 million people, who are local guides who make Google Maps better every day. And we, of course, employ thousands of engineers who develop algorithms and data to put this data together in the right format and in the right way for you to enjoy it on your Maps interface on the consumer app, or on your Maps interface on any enterprise product or app that you use. Next slide, please, Shripad. I don't have to tell you this again. Google Maps has been evolving as a product over the last many years. We've been making improvements, across the board, to our base maps, to how we style the product, the number of languages we have, and so on and so forth. So, this is obviously an ongoing investment that we do. Next slide, Shripad. We're also improving, our data accuracy. Just in the last 3 or 4 years, we have, immensely improved, the data accuracy and the level of detail that we have around complexes, cities, and so on and so forth. And we'll continue to invest in aggregating this data and making it more relevant for enterprises. If you go to the next slide, we've not only stopped with these APIs, we've also gone on to build very interesting products that solves for real world problems. So today we have a product exclusively for ride sharing customers that solves a bunch of their problems, including figuring out the easiest pickup points, providing the fastest routes, providing better ETAs, and so on and so forth. And we'll continue to focus on specific industries where we can bring about more solutions that really uses these APIs and makes location more easily usable by enterprises. Next slide, please. The one thing that I'll say that is definitely unique about Google Maps platform is the accuracy and the real-time nature of our data. I spoke about billion plus users. I spoke about all those devices. I spoke about the 25 million updates per day. This is what makes Google Maps really a unique product in the location space. Next slide, please. And the data and the location data is not only accurate, but it's also very rich. With Google Maps today, you can get things like ratings, reviews, contact information, atmosphere data. That goes above traffic data, and that goes above and beyond just the geospatial aspects of it. And with this, enterprises are able to build much better experiences for their customers. Next slide, please, Shripad. Again, Google Maps is the most loved and used location platform in the world. I've spoken about the number of users, but when you as an enterprise want to showcase a map, it obviously helps to have a very familiar interface. Google Maps, again, has global coverage. The stats talk to itself, but really, if you're scaling or taking your business global, this can play a very, very crucial role for you. Next slide, Shripad. Really, but the proof point is really that more than 5 million, apps and websites use Google Maps today. This is just a very high-level sampling, but we have a number of startups committing to Google Maps as we speak over the last couple of years. Finally, I would like to next slide, please. But I would like to highlight in a couple of minutes how location has become a game changer across industries. Location has been important historically for retail and e-commerce. For logistics, the use cases are obvious, but it is now becoming important for every industry. Next slide, please, Shripad. Here's a survey we did along with the Boston Consulting Group late last year and early this year with 500 execs across US, UK, Singapore, and specifically for the audience here in India as well. And this revealed a bunch of interesting insights for us. Like I said, location is being used by retail and e-commerce leaders. It is being used by delivery and logistics players to a high extent, but also it is being used by real estate and travel and tourism companies to drive customer experience. It is being used by financial service companies or manufacturing companies to really drive optimization of their workforce. It is also being used to detect fraud, build credit ratings and so on and so forth in, again, financial service companies and the fintech players as well. And the pulse of the survey is really that businesses believe location data will become even more important in the next 3 to 5 years. Next slide, please, Shripad. This slide again reiterates the point about how important location services is to different sectors in the industry. For a lot of them, it is important today. It's going to become more important tomorrow. And for many of them, location intelligence is a unique differentiating factor. And we've seen this play out in multiple areas. There are a set of companies that are leaders in using location intelligence, and we've seen them stand out distinctly. Hopefully, this was a quick primer on Google Maps platform and how we've helped enterprises grow their business and how important location is to any industry, not just the obvious ones. Thank you so much, Shripad and Ankush, for inviting me. I'm really excited about Leap, and I really think that Lepton is making great strides in bringing this location intelligence aspect out to startups so that they can leverage this early in their life cycle. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ravi, for that wonderful presentation. And now let's jump on to the part 2 of the presentation. I would like to invite Ankush. Ankush, I've already made you the presenter. So yeah, you can present the slides, please.
Thanks, Sri. Just let me know when my slide is visible. Just give me 1 moment.
Sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Ravi. Thanks for giving the whole background. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ankush. I manage growth and business strategy for Lepton and been with Lepton for almost 9 years now. As Lepton, we are around 25-year-old organization. We are location intelligence specialists. We have been working since the beginning of location intelligence in the private sector. Before that, it was primarily used by government and defense organizations. We work across industries. We work very closely with startups. I'll show you a couple of names. We have a very strong data analytics team, a lot of engineers working on GIS as a technology. We have very strong technology partners, and Google being the biggest, oldest, and the largest partner, and also very closely working with them on LEAP program, which we're going to talk about today. Let's spend some time on understanding why location intelligence is required for startups. If you see the logos here, that actually speaks about themselves. Most of these organizations are B2C companies, and then there are a couple of B2B examples. If you see whether it is customer acquisition or managing your own business operations, location intelligence is a very key element in these logos. So OYO has a lot of customer base where you go and go to their website and look for hotels. At the back end, they have to do acquisition of those hotels and those properties. Similarly, with Zomato, they plan their food delivery and tracking using location intelligence as technology. And there are use cases with Lenskart, Tanishq, Vodafone, and Shiprocket, and many more. So we have hundreds and rather, I would say, thousands of customers using this in India and outside India. This technology to run their business. Because we have worked with so many startups in the last decade, I would say specifically, we have realized that there is a little bit of a gap in terms of how location intelligence is used by startups early on. Definitely once the funding is in place and you have a very structured environment relatively, you're able to invest money and invest on resources. But early on, it is very, very important to adopt the technology so that you're able to grow faster. And we saw the gap and we thought, LEAP should be in a more structured format. We have been helping startups, as I mentioned, for last decade, but it was never structured. So we came up with this program a while back so that we can help, startups grow to the next level where they should have access to location intelligence technology, data to innovate the product, grow faster, and it works across the industries. So once you're part of the program, once you're selected, you get training, you get tech support, you get co-marketing opportunity, and then few of the companies could get funding opportunity as well. But as part of the Lepton program, you get $25,000 worth of location intelligence kit. Now, as Ravi has mentioned, BCG did a study recently which says 80% of the data collected today has location element into it, and most of the startups are going to run their business based on the location data. Now, it is very, very important for any organization, whether it is startup or a matured organization, could be 100-year-old. Most of these organizations are dependent on location data nowadays, because either you are acquiring customer, which has location element, you have your own staff or your own employees, where location data is very, very important. Or it could be a brick and mortar setup where you really need to find out the right location for your office or for your shop or retail outlet. So it's very important to engage early on in the journey of forming a company so that location intelligence becomes part of your ecosystem. Now, you could be creating a product which is based on location intelligence, or you could be creating any product where your customer acquisition is important, operations are important. But then it is very, very important to really understand how Google Maps, data, or solutions in general can help you. So as part of offering, you get Google Cloud and Map services. You get location intelligence suite that has been created by Lepton. And then you get a lot of data under analytics pack. So there are exclusive benefits. So for example, you get whole access to geospatial suite. You get opportunity to get workspace support in our Gurgaon premises, although we are present in other cities as well. So once office is open, you'll get that opportunity. Definitely, there's a potential investment that we could do in selected startups as we move ahead. You get premium tech support. I want to really stress on this. When you start an organization or you have product is dependent on, let's say, Google Map to start with, and obviously we have other elements in location intelligence. It could be in the form of data or solution itself. Most of the organizations are not well equipped to really understand how Google Map can be utilized to create a product out of it. Or maybe it could be used at the back end to improve your operations. So we really help early on in even you could be at ideation stage or a matured organization in terms of funding. We help all the organization in making sure, even if you are using Google Maps at the moment, we help you optimize the usage in such a manner that your either invoices don't go haywire or you're able to utilize all the APIs in the right manner. And that's where the mentorship comes into the picture. We have industry leaders. We give access to those industry leaders in the form of shaping your business, go to market, as well as tech support, as I mentioned. We're also present outside India, in Middle East, in Southeast Asia, and US, and we'll be happy to help you go beyond India if required, depending on how you are shaping your company and your target market. You get access to that as well. It's pretty simple to join the LEAP program. If you're an individual startup, or you could be incubator, accelerator, or academic setup in the form of university or a college. You can apply to us, and there are different channels. Individual startups has a different channel, and then if there are organizations or incubators, there's a different channel. You can apply to both the channels. We have then evaluation process internally, and then once you are selected, onboarding process doesn't take more than 3 to 5 days, and you get onboarded straight away. So essentially, what we look forward to is that you need to have an idea in place, even if you're not registered. Our evaluation team really gets on a call with you, and we really talk to each and every. We go through each and every application and talk to each and every founder. Once evaluation is done, and we are pretty confident that there is a plan in place and there is a team in place, we are happy to invest our resources and energy in making sure you grow to the next level. And then you are assigned with account manager who really helps you navigate through the different products and solutions, as well as support offerings we have. My presentation ends here. I would love to take questions moving forward, and I'll hand over it to Shri to navigate further. Thanks, Shri, and thanks everyone.
Thank you, Ravi and Ankush, for this really brilliant presentation. I'm sure there are going to be questions from our audience. So let's start with our Q&A session right now, and let's answer the queries. So I can see some couple of questions which are there. So there's a first question which is there. What is the Google Maps offering for startups? Ravi, do you want to take that?
Absolutely. Google Maps does not have a unique offering for startups. Our commercial offering is pretty much the same across the board. Our startup work and our offerings are slightly different and unique across product lines. For example, Google Cloud has a startup offering, but Maps doesn't have a unique offering of its own. However, which is why a program like LEAP comes into play, to bridge that gap. And Lepton, one of our top resellers in India, have come up with this program to, bridge, this opportunity for startups really. And that's what LEAP is about.
Hey, thanks, Ravi. Thanks for that. And also, there's a follow-up question, from the same person, but I think Ankush can answer that. Can I find stores, incomes, restaurant data, and so on? So, Ankush,
I'll take that. So, thanks for asking this question. So, yes, we have very strong data practice. Rather, we generate data for enterprise. We can generate data for a lot of startups as well. Just to mention Google, we have dual relationship with Google. We sell Google Map licenses and solutions. We create a lot of solutions, but at the same time, Google is our customer for data. So we sell a lot of data to Google and other enterprise. Now, having said that, as part of our data practice, we are able to generate different data sources. It could be census data, it could be lifestyle data, it could be individual data in terms of their movement pattern, and so on. And we help a lot of organizations really find out where their target audience is, where their target customers are, or it could be where the right location where I should be opening my retail outlet and Just to give an example, Chroma is our customer, enterprise customer, and they open all the stores once they plan the whole stuff on our solution called Smart Market. And they need all the data which you have just mentioned, whether it could be income, there are direct or surrogates to really take this out. But yes, we can help you with this particular data.
Thanks, Ankush. We have a next question as well. So, does the 25K support include the credit to use the API? Ankush, I think you want to take that.
Yes. So we'll share the breakup of $25,000 across multiple services and products. But yes, you get credits per month, and then beyond that, you get technical support as well, which has again a separate credit. So you get both from us, which is included in $25,000.
All right. And there is another good question. What is that Lepton offers about Google Maps?
Yeah, so that's where Leap comes into the picture. What you get online, maybe through credit card, is Google Map directly. Interestingly, most of the startups or even matured organization do not know that once you cross a particular tier, you do not get discount online through credit card. And that's where Lepton comes into the picture, or that's why we have created Leap program. So at early stage, you might not cross that tier, but even one of the APIs while testing goes up, you do not get discount. So, but if you're working with on a Leap program, or you are an enterprise customer, let's say going forward, you get up to more than 90% discount. So we have customers who are paying us $200,000 per month, and they are on that tier, and that discount is automatically offered to you. That's one. Second, we do offer technical support. While if you are working with again, I'm just talking about online purchase of Google Maps. Otherwise, we are still Google while you are talking to us or Ravi. Now, we give technical support. We do help a lot of organizations, even matured organization, I would say, in optimization of API implementation. So which really means that if you have not implemented right way, your billing could go 10x, 20x. We have seen even beyond that. While if it is done in a right manner, you are really able to control that. Now, and it doesn't only stop at billing. It really helps you optimize the functionality of the app itself if it is not implemented right way. That's one. And then rest of the stuff which is non-technical is access to location intelligence data, which was asked a while back. Income, or so we have lifestyle data, we have demography data. You can visualize the whole stuff depending on the product you're creating. If you are into B2B or B2C space, you need that kind of data to really scale up and plan the business. So and obviously we can address this one-to-one if required as to what is your specific business. I would love to take that. But yes, there is a lot more than just a Google Map credit.
Ankush, if I may add, please.
Yeah, sure.
So, we recommend once as a startup, you're scale, you're growing, and location is an important component of your business. We recommend you work with our resellers like Lepton because they're able to provide technical consultation, best practices, and like Ankush outlined, optimization, etc. So while there is like an online channel available to you, we generally recommend customers use that for early use, testing, POCs, etc. But once you realize location is important, we recommend you work with a reseller. Thank you.
Okay. All right, that's great. So I think probably one of the next questions also, I think, to you, does Leap is also for early stage MVP startups?
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, you could be at ideation stage. You can fill up the form. Shri will share the application form right now, or maybe over the email at a later stage. And we'll talk to you and understand what exactly are you doing. But definitely, even if you are at ideation stage and you're trying to just get mentorship from us, we are happy to help with no strings attached. And when you say early stage, I'm really talking about even ideation stage. You have not even started working on any products. We are happy to help.
Okay. All right. So the next question, I think Ankush, you have already answered, but I'll just repeat the question. What does the location kit comprise of? I think you have already answered that question.
Yeah, I will. It's okay. I'll just repeat. So it's combination of Google Map and crowd credits. That's number one. Then you will get access to location intelligence platform we have. Now that platform is it has a visual interface of Google Maps. At the back end, there is a lot of data, and depending on the product you're creating, you might or might not need the solution on day one. But I just gave example of Chroma, or similarly, it could be Lenovo, or there are a number of B2B or B2C companies who want to really visualize the data or plan, let's say, where they should be opening their next retail outlet or let's say bank or ATM. Or if you really want to know where your target audience, target customer is, you have a particular definition of your target with this much of income, with this age group, and so on. So that data is part of the location intelligence suite we have. So you get access to that as well. And if you're only looking for data, we have a separate data practice without any solution, no Google Map. According to you have taken care of the stuff. We help you with that as well, where you get access to the data, and that's a very, very important data for a lot of organizations, and very I must say very expensive data as well when you go out in the market and try to purchase. So we really want to help organizations get access to some data so that you do not stop product creation because there's limitation of funds at your level at this stage. So this is the combination. We'll send you a separate presentation going forward, which talks about the LEAP program has. You can go to leap.leptonsoftware.com as well, and then it has further details.
Thanks, Ankush. Next question is, what is the accuracy in locations Google Maps? I think, Ravi, you want to take that?
Absolutely happy to take that. Obviously, data accuracy is one of our unique differentiators because because of the number of Android devices, and other devices that help us, keep this data accurate in real time. Of course, there's always scope for improvement, and Google Maps, like I outlined earlier in my presentation, is investing to improve accuracy, improve detail about locations on an almost daily basis. So we've come a long way in the last couple of years, and we expect to make the product even more accurate going forward.
Thanks a lot, Ravi.
A couple of questions on my DM, it seems. So let me just read them out.
Also, there are some one or two questions. Ankush, do you want to take the DM questions first?
Yeah. So there's a question about the whole process as to how much time does it take. So the moment you apply, you'll get a call or email within 72 hours or 3 working days, and then we complete the process of onboarding within 5 working days. So we try to keep it pretty lean and fast. In case you have questions even before filling the form, we'll be happy to help. You'll have our email ID, and you can send a mail, and we'll be quick to reply on that. There's another question on location intelligence suite. Okay, so how it can be. So the question is how location intelligence suite can be utilized by startups, because startups are creating product themselves. So if you're a startup where you have to look for a customer and you don't know where to start with, that's where location intelligence suite, which is Smart Market in this case, can be used. Or if you are actually planning to have a brick and mortar setup, then definitely this is the tool for you. This platform also helps in addressing other use cases. It could be field force management. It could be customer acquisition. So the platform is holistically pretty big in terms of the use cases it can handle. We can talk one-to-one if required in terms of explaining how this platform can be utilized for your organization. There's another question on what is included in $25,000. I think that has already been addressed, so that's fine. Rashri, sorry, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So there's one more question, like, do we have data useful for ed tech, like educational tech industry?
Yeah, definitely. So we work with a couple of organizations in this space where they started online and now they want to expand offline. So we are helping them find out the locations. And while they were online also, they really wanted to understand, they really want to create catchment. They want to do catchment analysis of different locations so that they could do marketing accordingly. So there's a lot of data that gets generated in a digital space, and we help all these organizations and business expansion from that perspective.
Thank you. And maybe the next question, what kind of APIs you will be providing in Leap Concept?
So this that's a good question. So from the perspective of overall program, we have Google Maps and solution in the form of API. So it could be Smart Market as a product, or Google Maps, Google Cloud, or it could be our data APIs. But beyond that, there is an offline service of whether it is tech support or in the form of funding or the workspace we give. But from the technology perspective, the APIs are essentially in the form of location intelligence suite to access the whole solution. It could be data, or it could be Google Maps and Cloud.
Thank you. I think the next question is for Ravi. Ravi, how frequently Google Maps are getting updated?
Happy to answer. I mean, again, like the real-time nature of maps and the possibility for users to contribute, makes this, almost happening. Makes this happen almost every minute, right? So we have more than 25 million updates on a daily basis to accuracy and location. So this is an ever-improving kind of process.
Thank you. Then probably the next question is I think what are the advantages going Leap apart from having Google Map API? Ankush, you want to take that?
Yeah, I think we already addressed this. So beyond Google API, you get Google Cloud, you get our solutions, and you also get non-technology support, which is in the form of, let's say, tech support or workspace, funding, and mentorship. And it is very customized. It is very customizable, I must say. Do not go by these terms only. When we work with you, when we talk to you, we understand what is required by you specifically. You might not even need all these products. You might only need one at this stage. We're happy to help. This program is for 12 months and extendable to 24 months, depending on at what stage you are and if you're actually able to utilize $25,000. If you're not, we are really happy to extend that beyond 12 months. So as I mentioned, it is very customizable. Once you are shortlisted for this, we are there to support you till the time you really leap to the next level.
And the next question, I find it a bit interesting. For fleet management, how our Leap could be implemented? Ankush, you want to take that?
So we have a couple of enterprise customers and even startup in Leap program. They have created product for so they're into space where they are not doing last mile, and they are managing fleet. So Google itself has two different licenses actually. So one is pay as you go, another is for asset management, asset tracking. I would like to take this one-to-one if required, but essentially we can help in even product creation. We have worked with enterprises like Vodafone and Reliance, where the whole fleet management and fleet force management is done through our platform, and we'll be happy to extend that advisory to startups to help them grow and then create the product if required.
So I think we have answered most of all the questions, and there are certain questions like is this a platform, Leap platform is of a Lepton product? Then yes, absolutely. I think we have already answered a couple of questions which are repetitive. So Ankush, do you have any questions in your DM?
No, I'm done. I think we have answered most of the questions, and if required, if there are follow-up questions, I think we can have them over email, and I would love to talk to all the startups.
Ankush, I think one last question we can take it. That's pretty interesting. We mentioned that marketing data is available on the location intelligence suite and your data practice. So what are the sort of data points are available? So do you want to quickly answer that?
So they vary from demography data, which is population or male-female breakup, earning in a city or earning in a district. So that is related to census, which we have kind of converted into geospatial format. Then there are visual map data, which is boundaries, starting from state boundary to district boundary to tehsil and pin code and so on. So when you really want to run a query, and let's say you want to analyze how am I doing business in this district, show me pin code wise data. So when you have a conventional way of looking at it in form of Excel or graph, you just have pin codes and numbers. But while you visualize that, you really are able to get better insights. There could be pin codes which are doing very well in silos. And there could be a different reason for that, and that's where this kind of data comes into the picture. And then we also have user behavior data in terms of, as I mentioned, in terms of their movement, in terms of age group, the interest they have, whether they have interest in sports, whether they have interest in investing money, or whether they have interest in gaming. So we have access to that kind of data, which can help a lot of organizations either find their own customers or create a product around the data itself.
Thank you, Ankush. Thanks a lot. So I think we have answered all the questions. I mean, and I think that was really a wonderful session, I would say, with a brilliant presentation. Thank you, Ravi and Ankush, once again, for giving us these insights. So thank you, everyone, for showcasing your presence. We are going to send the recording of this webinar very soon to everyone. Even if there are people who have missed the webinar, we are still going to send them the recording so they can listen, and if they have any questions, they can always ask us. Also, to be part of LEAP, I would request everyone to visit LEAP, that is LEAP, leap.leptonsoftware.com. I have also posted the link in the Q&A section, and you can always click on the link and put your details. If you have any more further queries, you can write back to us and on leap@leptonsoftware.com. So thank you again, and be safe. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks everyone. Yeah. Thanks Sri. Thanks Ravi. Thank you.
Thank you.